what it was. Y'all know who it is, and y'all tuned in with Priceless Knowledge itself, and I figured I'd put y'all down with a little cosmic insight for the day. And say, man, it's Thursday, so what we gonna do is kick back into this Pluto series, and if we gonna do that, we might as well make it official, huh? So this right here, this gonna be a little something about those people that have Pluto in the 10th house of their natal chart. And before I even go there, you already know what I'm going to do first. I'm going to bring y'all a little information about Pluto in astrology, and I'll also give a quick breakdown about the 10th house of astrology. So with that being said, here we go. So in astrology, Pluto is what I like to call the great revealer. Because wherever Pluto is in your chart, there's pretty often a very dark night before the dawn, man. Pluto is about power, magnetism, depth, death, sex, transformation, and rebirth. Pluto resides in the primordial ooze of your character. It brings mind-purging regeneration by releasing buried pockets of power from core truths. Yeah, Pluto for me is the planet of creative destruction. In your birth chart, Pluto shows the areas of life you'll personally face the intense power of creation through destruction. It's the vessel through which little compressed pockets of magic, spirit, and primal energy kind of lay in wait to be activated either by self-provocation or outside traumatic events. Yeah. And it's kind of because of this that Pluto's power is often very feared. The thing is, wherever it is in your chart, it can put you in a showdown between your greatest fears of being destroyed and the pursuits of whatever your heart longs for the most. Yeah. And, even if your ego holds on to it, Pluto is going to make you surrender, let go, and transform. Pardon me. So that's Pluto. And what's the 10th house? This is one of the angular houses that consists of the 1st, the 4th, the 7th, and the 10th. And it's also called the midheaven, and it's the house of social status because it's the highest and most visible point in the astrological chart. It's about our career, social grouping, and our energy in society as a whole. With the 10th, man, think status and the authority it conveys, and consequently the role we take in our community. It kind of speaks to any promotions we receive, any fame we may acquire, and the type of businesses we partake in. With respect to achievement, the 10th house focuses on how we see ourselves and how the community perceives us as well. We really focus on manifesting ourselves in this house. Vocation is important here. What role will we choose and how will we best fit? How much do we really want to achieve? Career, professional goals, ambition, and motivation all come into play here. And in a more practical context, employers and the government are represented here, the authority. This is Capricorn energy, and it's ruled by Saturn. And the 10th house can be about ego gratification, the question of how we'll manage the gifts and the status that come along with it. With the 10th, though, just remember that not all of us are cut out for success on the grand scale. So that's something you always got to keep in mind. So what about these motherfuckers that got Pluto in the 10th? Porn stars? No, I'm just playing. Hold on. So, more than anything else, man, these motherfuckers here are obsessed with their careers and advancing up the social ladder. So they're kind of constantly polishing their skills and getting better results at work because they're trying to obtain power, man. They devise well-defined goals, and they kind of carefully strategize shit, taking into consideration any possible dangers. Then they follow through with this unshakable confidence, ambitiousness and grit. For real, man, with them, it's like roll with it or get rolled over, man. You can't hate it or you're going to get rolled over. These are all or nothing perfectionist type motherfuckers who generally want nothing than the motherfucking best. And they probably had a parental model who expected nothing less than motherfucking stellar levels of excellence and, the most work ethic that they could put out. Cause these type of principles that are in these people, they didn't just appear overnight, man. They had to be nourished, man. Somebody had to let them know about this shit. It comes with discipline. Either way, though, Pluto and the 10th motherfuckers are extraordinary individuals who can't help but making an intense impression on everybody that they come across, man. You know, cause their magnetic outwardly presence, this laser sharp focus, and this unstoppable determination, pardon me, you know, it really stands out from the rest. I just have to say that, you know, they're constantly improving themselves and transforming the way that they come across in a public sense. And, you know, that's going to ultimately be advantageous to them. And it goes both ways because they won't never back off or jump ship once they've given their word, which that can definitely be a double-edged sword, seeing that whatever they decide to entrench themselves in, it's either going to exemplify excellence or it's going to be a motherfucking total shit show with no motherfucking in between. So, yeah, you got to understand, like, there ain't no in between with Pluto anyway. It's black, white, no gray. That is flattering. You know, 10th house Pluto people crave power. It ain't about money. You know, the status is about the power. The money is about the power. They crave power. They want to dominate. And they're not going to stop at nothing to get it. And they'll go through whatever transformations are necessary in order to obtain it. And once again, that's one of the slipperiest slopes that you could ever take, man. They aren't satisfied with merely climbing the motherfucking social ladder. Nah, they want to control that some bitch, man. Which leads them to trying to manipulate weak-minded motherfuckers and taking advantage of the misfortunes of others. Pardon me. You know, whatever it takes to get to the motherfucking top. And best believe they will. I swear they will. And once they get there, they might have some motherfucking pretty abusive streaks. Power is a motherfucking monster. And, you know, it's real and it's live. And Pluto is the abyss. And this will swallow any motherfucker that tries to think that they can handle it or they misuse it or abuse it in any way, man. And proving even further than that, you know, deep down, these motherfuckers are really terrified at the prospects of actually achieving more than they ever thought that they could, man. So it's like these what ifs are eternally tormenting their mind. But the paradoxical thing about it is their negative way of thinking, it kind of prepares them to be tough and to success because they're willing to do whatever the fuck it takes, man. Whatever it takes, man. Plus, you know, this obsession with their professional or social success, it really tends to cause a lot of conflicts, instability, and emotional turmoil at the house, man, and in their family life. So best believe that this shit with this placement, it ain't peachy keen. There's shit that goes along with it, you know, tragedies, traumatic events, power struggles, and even scandal. You know, with this being in the 10th too, you know, that shit is going to be on display. As I was saying a while ago, the 10th is the most visible house in the chart. It's at the top, man. This is why it's how you come across publicly. You know, it's going to shake your shit up, man. And it's going to cause a major conflict because Pluto is the most secretive and private planet it is, man. And these people are going to have a secretive and private nature that's it's going to cause friction. It's going to cause friction. And the thing is that you have to understand is, you know, Pluto don't like being in the 10th house. Pluto likes to keep it on the low. So all that shit out in orbit is just going to cause problems. I will say that a positive thing of note here is that these folks are extremely honest with themselves and they're willing to hold themselves accountable. So when they're fucking up, they typically the type that's able to recognize it and they're willing to do whatever necessary to get their own shit right without being told by somebody else. You know, they don't take authority well because they are authority. They feel authoritative in their nature, man. These are dominators. Pluto placed here manifests in a person that is exceptionally endowed with talent and insight into the more occult and even taboo fields like occultism, magic or spiritual healing, prostitution or pimping, you know what I mean? Morticians, grief counselors, and shit like that. They are the masters of all things that most people are scared to even fool with, which makes them even more prepared to deal with whatever they encounter on the road to success. So, don't get in their way, or it could mean your destruction. I could say that. And my advice for y'all that do have to work with this placement is to be very motherfucking careful who the fuck you try to step on the way to the top, man. Your ass better watch out, cause what goes up must come down. And so if you should fall, it's gonna be a wrap when you ain't got no foothold on your way back up. And that's just in the best case scenario, because sometimes it is an eye for an eye. It is what it is, man. Just understand that it don't matter where Pluto is, man. Just because you built like that, it don't mean you have to build like that, man. You can leave that positivity alone, man. We have all this energy available to us. It's up to you what you do with it. Okay? I appreciate all the love and support, man. If y'all are interested in the astrological readings whatsoever, you can either hit me up in the comments below or email me at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. And look, hit that like button if you fuck with me at all. Share this motherfucker. Subscribe to my channel if you ain't already. Matter of fact, if you watching this and you ain't subscribed yet, and you even like this shit a little bit, you a mark. You are a mark. I'm just playing. But all bullshit to the side, man. Y'all keep it real. Here in a little bit, I'm going to hit you with a little something about those people that have Pluto in the 8th house of their natal chart. Yeah. I'll let you.